Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I got some leftovers that I want to use, so let's get to it. Okay, so I have some leftover bagels here, and I really want to make something with them because I don't like food waste. So we're going to start with, I got 4 halves here, so let's do 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. If you've got them, go ahead and add a few extra egg yolks into this. But at the moment, I don't really need to. And we're going to actually go ahead and add a little bit of salt to this. Even though this is going to be sweet, a little bit of salt is actually going to help that quite a bit. And it also will help to break down the proteins in the egg a little bit better. And I'm going ahead and whisking these in a different bowl. Also going to, once I get these kind of homogenized, go ahead and add, I have about a cup of milk here. I'm going to add about 1/4 of it to this. Just to help get those eggs broken down a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and season a little bit of ginger, not a whole lot. About 1/4 of a teaspoon of ginger. And about 1/2 a teaspoon of nutmeg. And then you can kind of go a little ham on the ginger or on the cinnamon. I would suggest closer to a full tablespoon. I actually have to open my ground cinnamon. But you can be pretty heavy-handed on the cinnamon here. So give that a good mix. You want to try to get all of that, and then go ahead and dump it into this much larger container here. Now there's stuff left in here, so I want to use the milk that's left over to kind of get all that flavor. And just go ahead and dump that right in and give that a pretty good mix. Because my wife is going to be eating this, I have one more thing to add to it really quick. We're going to reach up into ye old cabinet here and grab the Mexican vanilla. And you want to add, depending on your preference, my wife really likes vanilla, so I'm going for about 1.5 tablespoons. Close that and get this mixed in really good. Once that's all nice and mixed, take your bagels and you're actually going to lay them down outside into the mix first. And what this is going to do is allow this to kind of soak up a little bit more of that. You want to get that really nice and down in there. It's okay if it gets on your fingers. That's what a sink is for. Okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and flip these tops over just to get them wet to help hold them down a little bit better. And you're going to let that sit for 5 or 6 minutes. So after 5 or 6 minutes, go ahead and just take these and flip them over. And you want them to kind of start to feel soggy, because you don't want hard French toast. And the goal here is to take these day-old bagels and make them taste real good. And we're going to let that sit for another 3 or 4 minutes. After these have set again, we're going to go ahead and take a couple of tablespoons of butter and drop those into the bottom of a skillet here. The handle on this skillet gets hot, so use a rag. And you don't want that butter to brown, but you do want that butter to melt. So when the pan is hot, just lift it off of the heat. Melt that butter pretty gently. And while that butter is finishing melting, take one of your tops, because they're going to take longer, and drain as much of the excess off of there as you can. And then put it down into your pan. And it's not very high heat. It doesn't need to cook at a high heat. You're not trying to brown these quick. You are going to want these to cook clear through. So then I take the next one I'm going to do and set it on top of the others. Give it a few seconds to drain. And this needs to just form its own crust really quick. After it's been on there for a couple of minutes, grab yourself a lid and cover it. Just let it cook all the way through. So the reason we're covering this is because we do want that to get soft clear through. And by covering it, you're steaming the bread while the bottom of it fries in the butter. And take it, flip it over, and now you're just going to let it cook on about a medium heat until you get the color you want on the bottom, and then you'll flip it back over and get your color on the top. So it only takes a couple of minutes to get the good color on this side. So you're going to flip it over. And remember, uncovered, medium heat. And now you're just looking to get color on that side. And so you're going to check this every couple of seconds. Not quite there, but almost. And you can see that this has gotten pretty soft and cakey. There we go. We're going to set this like this onto a paper towel to clean. Let some of that excess butter drain off. And then we're going to take our other piece and put it in there. And repeat. So while the rest of it's cooking, we're going to go ahead and plate this one up for the wife. Set that in the middle of your plate. Run to your fridge. Grab the old spray whipped cream, because there's really not much better than this stuff. Fill the middle. And then I'm going to give it some semi-sweet chocolate morsels. Just kind of all the way around. Alright. then, you'll notice I didn't put anything overly sweet in the actual batter for this. So I'm going to take some powdered sugar and just sprinkle it right over the top. And there you have it, leftover bagels turned into, I'm going to call it bagel French toast. Anyways, thanks you guys for stopping by. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you enjoyed these recipes, the recipes will always be down in the description box, at least for the next while. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stop by again.